We gotta go figure out what's going on in this weekly, okay? Let me start a prediction. Start prediction. How many wins will we get? I have to type it in manually because we did so many golf casinos yesterday. How many wins will we get? 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excuse me, my wife left for a week. I did not turn into a divorced dad, though. Do you see me growing ill-advised facial hair? Do you see me on testosterone replacement therapy? Do you see me posting really, really premature thirst traps on Twitter with workout gloves on and talking about how, oh, it's deadlift day? It's been... Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm just really drained. Today was deadlift day. By the way, my favorite day, hashtag deadlift day. Do you hear me talking about the Joe Rogan experience? Absolutely not. I'm just a guy. Don't give me units with 1 HP, man. Do you see me getting addicted to sports gambling and tweeting insane stuff about like college basketball 25 times a day? No, it's not happening. I'm literally just a dude. Let me be a legendary legend. Classic name. Hey, it's the Wessel Pigeon. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. We'll take a mosquito. How are you so in touch with modern archetypes? I'm 34 years old. I don't know any divorced dads, but I've met some. I know I said it the other day, but like at the gym, that's the scariest guy to be like in the squat rack next to you is the divorced dad who has AirPods in and his music is so loud you can hear it through his headphones, through the air, through your headphones. Because at any moment, you know this guy is about 5 seconds away from either snapping and putting his head through the mirror, or alternatively, breaking down in tears and requiring consolation from a complete stranger immediately. I'm gonna pivot to a little scaling here, but this is a messed up team. What's he listening to? Listen, don't make me a bad guy for this, but I do feel like divorced dads have the worst taste in music. At least my generation of divorced dads that exists exclusively in my head. It is based on no evidence whatsoever. But I feel like they're still listening to like early 2000s nu metal for sure. So true. Limp Bizkit, actually Creed. They're like, I'm living in my own prison for now, right now, for real, for real. Scott Stapp is just like me. I also cry out to God, seeking only his decision. Gabriel stands and delivers. I've created my own prison. Yeah. Dave Matthews? Listen, I got no problem with Dave Matthews except for the time that he dumped all that sewage on people. But that might not even be his fault. The jury's still out on that one. What do you think Zoomer divorced dads will be like? I don't know, man. It's just too far in the far-flung future for me to figure it out. I don't have that kind of creativity today. Flying Fish Squad again? It's good. What's your problem? It's a good unit. They're good units, Bront. I'm selling my 5-1 that I hate. I'm putting them out here. I'm buffing my fish because I recognize at this stage in my life there's not that many animals to get excited about. So actually just like having a fish that has good stats is okay. Maybe it's the right way to play it. I don't know. 5 wins incoming. Listen, I don't control the caliber of my shop, okay? Like, the shop does what it does. When it's just giving me, you know, 1 HP animals over and over at this stage of the game, you gotta play the cards you're dealt. Like, I'm not huge on a skunk here, but you got to do something. This is pretty suboptimal. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. Please take the stilt. I'll tell you what. I'll take the stilt when they make the stilt good. How does that sound? Hey NL, do you feel like your streaming style changes for a sponsored stream because they're less interaction based? Or no, sorry, because they're more of a business interaction? You're gonna make me act up a little bit. Would you ask this question of the auteur Joss Whedon because you saw a bottle episode? Excuse me, Mr. Joss Whedon at San Diego Comic-Con. Can you talk about your philosophy for how do you feel internally when you make a bottle episode versus when you're doing a long multi-season arc like when Willow converted Dawn to the dark side? It's not necessary. You just, if you're entertained, enjoy the entertainment. If you're mildly entertained, second monitor, something up on the first monitor. If you're not entertained, go watch something else. Recognize how cold it is out in the recesses of Twitch without the shining light of banter, and then return. And remember how good you got it. That's all you need to know. You don't need to worry so much about why is, you know, the machinations behind the scene. Did you use DocuSign or HelloSign for this one? What's the mutual indemnity of the contract? Is there a non-disparagement clause? It's not necessary, okay? It's irrelevant to you, the end user. You got nothing to worry about, I promise. Level me because I'm scared. If you could ever scale, the rooster would do something. But well, you know what? We do have a flying fish. We should take a rooster. Let's unwind this duck. Take a rooster at 5/5. Finally move flying fish back. It's doing something. Not much, but something. Mosquito doesn't need any more. Somebody needs garlic to keep us alive. It's a horrible looking squad. It's an absolutely horrendous looking squad. This is really bad. I was hoping at some point we'd get a team that wasn't well constructed, but they keep running great teams. Oh, we drew one. What a dream. What's the worst class you ever taught? What do you I exclusively taught like South Korean children how to speak English. You want me to go off on like some Korean 8-year-olds? Any worst class I taught, it had absolutely nothing to do with the curriculum, I'm sorry to say. Like this might be a little bit, like this might pierce a bubble for you. Like if you were like kind of a shit kid in 2nd grade and you thought that your teacher respected you for, you know, like you guys kind of sparred, I promise you that they did not. Let's put it that way. I promise you that when they, you know, eventually graduated you from the class and didn't have to deal with you again, they definitely do not want to ever see you again. Like they don't want to meet you at like 17 and then be like reminiscing over the times that you guys sparred in 2nd grade. They literally just want to like live their life. If you were a good kid, I mean, honestly, I could still take you or leave you at this point. We're basically strangers. If I saw some of the kids that I taught 10 years ago in Korea, like when they were 10, now they're 20, I would be like, you know, it's nice to see you again. I'm sure they would tell me what happened in their life since then, and I would be like, I don't know. It does sound really rude, but it's like, I don't know. I didn't go teach ESL in Korea for you. I did it for me because I had no direction. It's not about you. If I wanted to get into teaching for the kids, I would have gotten a teaching degree. Instead, I got a biology degree and said, what the hell do I do with this? If anything, I should apologize to them that I somehow had an impact on the formative years of their life. When in actuality, I was just collecting a paycheck and kind of winding down my contract as non-combatively as possible. What the heck? I can't believe I got a win. How do you feel knowing there's probably some kid who looked up to you? You're making me very sarcastic today. I apologize because it's a bad look for me. Don't get me wrong. But this is like stuff, it's just life. Like, what do you mean, how do you deal with it? I go to bed, I wake up, I eat, I do my job, I pick up my daughter from daycare, I bring her home, I cook her dinner, we eat together, I put her to bed, I go to bed, and then that's how I deal with it. People were like, how do you deal with the fact that you were responsible for someone's education? I don't know. I took a job as a teacher. I went home at the end of the day and said, God, I can't do another day of this. And then I went to bed, I woke up, I did another day of it. I'm just a guy. I don't know why you gotta make I'm not saying that my life is not important. It's just like not every single action is steeped in, how does this affect LeBron's legacy? Mostly, I'm just concerned with, every morning there's like a to-do list has been made. Some of that stuff is on there like daily tasks, and some of it pops up throughout the day. And then you just like, you do the task, you do the task, you do the task, you do the task, you do the task. And at the end of the day, rather than being like, what does this mean for, how future generations are going to remember me? You just go, I'm really tired. And then you go to bed and you wake up the next day. But it took me a long time to be normal. So I guess I understand where the questions, where they come from. Hi, Tomo. Do you want to leave, buddy? There you go. You may exit. Damn, how old is Tomo now? You don't worry about Tomo, okay? He's living his own life. I consented to opening my life to this kind of asymmetrical late night talk show inside the actor's studio minutia, okay? This nonsense. Tomo is just along for the ride. You don't ask him questions, you ask me questions, okay? Anyway, I don't remember. I think it's I guess he'll be 10 this year, now that I think about it. Who wants the chocolate? You're buffing you. Fish with the chocolate is pretty, but rooster with the chocolate is kind of, it's more like statically good. We'll talk about it. I don't think it's going to matter. Dude, this is the pivot. This is the pivot. Okay, that's solid. No! Never really thought about emu snake. It's they're natural bedfellows. I would love to sit on a jury with NL. Dude, no doubt, if I ever got the jury summons, my ass is... I am not naive enough to think I would be selected, even if I just talk like I normally talk. Because I'm unwillfully loquacious, maybe is a good way to describe it. I like to speak unambiguously, so when people are like, what do you think about X? Then I usually I reply too verbosely. Rather than be like, I feel like, Y about X. Instead, I'm like, well, that really depends. I used to think that X was like this, and then, blah, 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 20 years later. Everything in life is affected by your emotional state as you experience it. Like the difference between a good day and a bad day might just be what you eat for breakfast. Because then if you eat a good breakfast, Maybe somebody cuts you off in traffic and you're feeling good in like your homeostatic equilibrium, and you're like, oh, they're probably having a rough day, I'll let them go. Whereas if you didn't have any breakfast, you're like, I'm gonna fucking get you, and then that's the first domino to fall that leads you to having either the best day of your life or the worst day of your life. So long story short, I believe that people have no agency, and criminals don't just become criminals due to being bad seeds. There's just something, maybe they just didn't need breakfast on a very fateful day, and that led them down this bad path, and now they're scanning flat screens as 4011 in the self-checkout. And I would be saying this to me in my car, because about halfway through the third sentence, they would have been like dismissed, which would have been fine. I don't think they would ever want me on a jury. Also, it depends on the crime. Don't get me wrong. It does. I'm not that based. There are crimes that are worse than others. But if I was on like a jury trial for like, somebody stole something, even if they were guilty, I could definitely see myself being like, yeah, they probably did it, but like, who cares? He stole a generator from Canadian Tire. Okay. Really? Now 12 of us have to sit here for 3 days? They don't even give us good sandwiches. They give us egg salad sandwiches, and we're supposed to waste, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars in taxpayers' money just to see if, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, I have no idea if this squad is going to work, but here's where we're at. Good shot. That's a really good shot. You got me on that one. How's the rest of your squad? Distinctly better than my own, huh? I've noticed that. I've noticed that about you. No, or is it? It isn't. Do they have jury nullification in Canada? I don't know about all that. Whoops, I tried to put this on the wrong unit. I'll just tell you, I simply don't know about all that. Should take one of these. 3 wins is not where I'd like to be, but that's okay. If you're older than 65, you can be exempt. At first, my initial instinct was, I don't like that because older people have more time on their hands, so they should be more likely to be on juries. But then I thought to myself, no, that's exactly why you need to let them be exempt. Because as somebody who lives in an HOA, under the jurisdiction of an HOA, you don't want people who have nothing going on in their lives, and thus whatever you're doing that they don't like becomes their biggest priority in charge of the laws of the system on which you're living under. You'll end up getting like some Strom Thurmond type filibusters about insane shit like, should bikes be allowed on shared property because the tires cause wear and tear. And then what about dogs? Well, if we're going to say that bikes cause wear and tear, then what about dogs? Dogs cause wear and tear. Well, yes, but pet ownership is considered a human right under the United Nations. How about when you see someone bringing their bike up in like the parking garage elevator or whatever, you just be a normal human being and say, hey, have a nice day. That's all you need. Bro, you killed my turkey and screwed up my whole squad. Yo, stop it! No, not again. Okay, at least you only killed the bee. We're still fucked, but like... We have 4. Considering how heinous that was to begin with, I'm not too disappointed in 4. Emu snake. It's on the horizon. It's just like I'm not insanely upset. Would it be possible for you to just give me some units in round 1 and round 2? I'll be a skilled sack that have more than 1 HP. Like there's a 2/3 duck in the weekly, so I'm just. I'm just a little flabbergasted. Holy cow, a hit level. Let's try that. Bluebird is immediate doubt. I mean, you're asking for trouble here, because, like, tell me you know nothing about SAP without telling me you know nothing about SAP. You look at the first shop and you're like, I doubt. There's a lot of game left. I wouldn't worry too much about that yet. Let's see what we get. I gotta see what we... Okay, we're gonna try a different strat here. We're not doing flying fish this time. We'll take a woodpecker instead. Rest of the squad is complete detritus, to be fair. We'll try to throw you up here, and then I'll just put like a little cherry on top for now, I guess. It's a win. I don't believe it. Flying fish turkey is the way. Just tuning in. Okay, about one of these. Let you go here for now. Ever been to New Orleans? I've not been to New Orleans. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go with this, because I don't want to make anybody upset. Kind of. But everyone... my impression of... Okay. I know 3 people, I think, who have been to New Orleans. And with every single one of them, the conversation goes like this. Usually the way it happens is you'll be like eating beignets or something like that at a restaurant. And then they'll say, have you ever been to New Orleans? And then I say no, and they say, you don't need to go. It's basically, it's like the number one comment that comes back after you say you've never been there. And then you have the exact same conversation every time. They always say, the food is incredible, and Bourbon Street smells like piss and vomit, even on like a Monday morning. I've had this same conversation at least 15 times in my life. That's its charm? Bro, I live in a city where it could smell like vomit, like, to begin with. I don't need to travel for that. I do like what a surgeon fish can do. But it has to work differently than this. It can't be on the silk moth, because then the silk moth should be buffing the unit with that receives the HP from the surgeon fish. So I've gone cross-eyed. I'm going to buy you, and then you need to be like here, and then you need to be, so it needs to be like this, but then you need to have this on top of you, which is not what we want. We want you to have a pineapple. I'm going to put it on you for now regardless, because I think it's the right way to handle it for now. And then we'll figure out... No! We'll figure out what we want to do about the rest of this later. Because I still think the woodpecker is worth having around. Plus, we can't lose. Our opponent has a whale. Even though they did the right thing by putting the whale at the front. I think mistakes were made. There's 3 wins. Sure. I do like it. The thing is, we could run one further back. But the armadillo being here is really weird. Because it would only be able to buff the silk moth at the time of... at the moment of conception. We're just thinking. Like, I think this is good. For now, with none cherry, we got to think about the way that this would go. We could, for the moment, I'm going to set it up like this. Though I do semi-hate it. The silk moth we're not going to get much benefit out of, but we need the cherry to be in front of the surgeon fish. You piece of garbage. They're running a sniper team this week? I didn't even know you could do such a thing! Hang on, though. All is not lost. I told you! I told you! And we still got to figure this out. Obviously, you need this. We kind of just need to wait till, like, another cherry shows up. Honestly, I might just put this on you for now. I don't really see a bluebird being around long term, but it's either that or 3 rolls. It's the same squad, but even more annoying. Oops. I was going to say, oops, you didn't overwrite my garlic, but you absolutely did overwrite it. You sassy baka. Came close, though. Gotta figure out what we're doing with this one. Like, eventually, I want to see another cherry. You can say it. You can say it. My ass is just rolling right now. That's what's happening right here. Hey, NL. For $500,000, would you cut off your left pinky finger for the rest of your life? I have to think about it. I think I probably would have done it in, like for $5,000 or $500,000 in 2010 dollars. You could probably persuade me. For $500,000 in 2023 money, I think you gotta up your price, honestly. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but it's the kind of thing that I'm not just snap keeping in 2023. I'd have to ponder the orb a little bit on it for sure. We're gonna get 4 wins. We're not gonna get another win. The team is too hard to unwind at this point. Like it's too hard to move everything around. Now a snake, no, it's not too hard to move everything around. We still don't have another cherry. Okay, so you sell your bluebird, you buy a snake and you put it behind the armadillo, then you try to put an armadillo on top of a snake. Or the snake to my mongoose, the mongoose to my snake. I guess all I'm trying to say is, like, I would rather not. Another cherry. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. We need to... This little combo works. This works. Surgeon fish into armadillo into snake. Nothing else works. And that's bad. But are we really going to sell, like, our best... Like, we need the armadillo to move up closer to the front. You know what? This is... I'm going crazy mode. We need to freeze the cherry. Whatever unit we replace the woodpecker with needs a cherry. It's not going to be you. Well, there's never been a better time to pull off the Band-Aid. And then we need to run something at the front. And it needs to have a cherry for the squad to even have a chance. Definitely hard to imagine this being good. I see a very similar idea of strategy here. The difference is I have a snake that's essentially worthless, we could say. But imagine if my snake had lived through that first attack. Just imagine. I mean, I would just say it. I think we're toast. This is valuable. We need this surgeon fish to do so. You know what? You're gone. You shouldn't be, but you are. Then a level 2 snake. And then guess what? Here's some death touch for you. Even though it moves the armadillo back a position. And then you need the pineapple on yourself immediately. There's an emu, but I think we're dead anyway. Hippo with snake is the play. I think on lethal is a really good time to bring out like a hippo with base stats. I would call that one a certainty. This one's toast too, though. Unless we had to shoot the toad. And I think we were still toast either way. Why do you still have a shop? Or a moth? Because we got lost, man. We got lost in the game. That's why I should just be running flying fish every time. Well, like, honestly, half of the things I do, I basically take from chat. That's just the honest to goodness truth. If there wasn't, I'll be like a grotesque puppy. If there wasn't chat, I'd be running flying fish every time, talking about, you know, what the hell is Hardee's? I've only heard of Carl's Jr. But instead, people are like, oh, play a game I've seen you play 1,000 times. Don't ever play anything new. Play a game I've seen you play 1,000 times, but do it slightly more different than you usually do. Can you do something familiar? Can I have a cheeseburger, but instead of like barbecue sauce, can you put some Dijonnaise on it? I'm feeling adventurous today. Then they'll say something insane like variety is the spice of life. That's why I order the same thing at the restaurant every time, but I mix up which corn syrup-based dipping sauce I ask for. Even though I know they're just going to give me like one sweet and sour anyway. We got levels. Okay. Well, I think we can take like a little of column A and a little of column B. Let's... Thing is, you don't really want to put a cherry on you. So for now, let's put a cherry on you. We'll talk about the flying fish. Remember, this is a squad in transition, and that's okay. It's only round 3. Perhaps finally use tier 6s. Hey, it's round 3. Don't be one of those people who's like, maybe buy the alpaca this time. It's round, what do you want me to do? There is no alpaca. Sai, I'm never suggesting another super auto pet ever again. What the hell are you talking about? Also, please don't. Sorry, but yes, okay, finally. Oh, man. It just reminds me of, like, you know, every now and then I get to catch... Ooh, yeah, maybe we'll give this a try. People have asked for it. And we'll set it up like that now. I catch Dan doing his insane roguelite races versus Frost Prime, and I see people in chat when he's playing Slay the Spire, and they're just frantically typing like 7 actions in one message because they know if he doesn't get it all in one message, then there's like no chance he's ever gonna read the whole thing. And then they're like, you need to play armaments first every single time because it upgrades every other card in your hand, and then you need to play this, and then and I'm just like, bro, this is like the 8th time he's played Slay the Spire on stream. You gotta do some self-care, man. You gotta, like, it's not, because the thing is, there's like 30 other people all typing the exact same shit. He's not reading that. And at this point, you gotta, the problem is not with him, it's with you. Because if I typed that once and he didn't do it, I would be like, okay, maybe he just didn't see it. Then I would type it again, and then I would be like, all right, I'm keeping my comments to myself. Clearly, he's not interested. Okay, we don't want any of these. Maybe we'll freeze a snail, because we're in pivot anyway. The mosquito can go. Like, I'm in awe of the fact that people will type the same message verbatim, like, 10 times sometimes. And I'm a little, like, in awe in the sense that I think it's admirable, because they really have a lot of self-confidence. But I'm also in awe, I mean, just at the sheer time investment, quite frankly, sometimes. Just the Herculean effort involved in the whole process. Joel's a different story. I understand the male desire to type Joel. I don't really know what this squad's going to look like in a little bit, but it looks okay right now. One of these days, this surgeon fish is going to live through more than one attack. Oh, wait, it doesn't even get the second trigger regardless. Never mind. It doesn't have to. This is a win. I don't believe it. Keep it going. Say sausage. Yeah, okay. So I say, like, you're gone. You're gone. You're in. Why don't we get a little economy going here? Not really a big armadillo guy. I feel like we'll try to pivot off of the stilt in a bit, which means we'll be happy to have a cherry around. Horvat to Boston for 32nd overall and Mitchell Miller. Who says no? What is this, like the worst trade offer of all time? I mean, the pick is something, but like considering he's going to be a free agent, isn't Mitchell Miller like the insane bully that your team signed and then got a ton of backlash for? This is just a psychotic trade. Listen, I know how it is because the Canucks fans do the same thing. They're like, how about we trade like our piece of shit for someone like really valuable? And then, like, other people will reply and be like, nah, they're not giving up enough. But still. Okay. Not interested. A duck doesn't need to be level 3 for our purposes. I hate that I'm buying an apple, but here we are. Skunk's okay, but it's not what I'm looking for. If anything, I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm looking for. I guess I'm looking for you. Lionfish can do some stuff, maybe. Think about this. We'd have to sell. We have to sell you. Put a cherry on a lionfish. I'm passing. That being said, like, it's crazy for me. Horvat to Boston. People are like, I don't know if I could see Horvat in a Boston uniform. It's been 12 years. Like, at some point, you gotta just. It's just a different color jersey. Like, it's not that big of a... If that's the best destination for him, I got no bad blood. She was like a generation ago. Horvat for Jamie Benn? No, listen, I understand that it's very exciting to be in like your first season of watching NHL hockey or whatever. We don't want like your shitty league maximum level player on, he's 47 years old on a 15-year deal, okay? You got to give up something to get something good. You're going to have to give up probably like a prospect that you think is going to be the best player in the league, but in reality, he's probably going to actually be like a career third liner or something like that. I know how it is. You're like, oh, dude, this guy I've never heard of from Latvia. We drafted him 73rd overall. I'm pretty sure, listen, if he's got a low floor but a high ceiling, hey, 24 years ago, Pavel Datsyuk was drafted in the 7th round. You never know what could happen. I would be content if he just turned out like Henrik Zetterberg, okay? So you're going to have to give up like one of your sacred cows, okay? And you'll take on the JT Miller contract? Okay, well, now we're talking. But why would we trade for Jamie Benn? We already have like an old dude who has an attitude problem. We don't need a second old dude with an attitude problem. We need some young guys we can exploit on league minimum contracts and build up a winning culture. Dude, I don't think this is going to work, but it's also like our only shot. I can't even buy the cherry on this turn. So we're really like, this is all in a horrible way. Imagine watching sports. Why can't I speak today? Imagine watching sports instead of anime. Okay, I'm imagining it. It's easy to imagine because it's like, it's my life. Of course I know him, he's me. What am I supposed to do after I imagine it? Am I supposed to have a smile on my face? Because I do. Wistful smile. We're probably done on 4 here. I've come to terms with it. Sports are amazing, though. Nah, they're okay. It's all the same. Sports, cooking shows, anime, Miyazaki movies. It's only entertainment. Me watching an anime, why is it set in a high school? Anime watchers reading your comment, making a post on r/anime. Does anybody else get annoyed how the common perception of anime is that all animes are set in a high school? Sure, I know that a lot of animes are set in a high school, especially the golden age animes from the 90s, but we've really progressed a lot past that. Plus, it's a very relatable experience. A lot of people have been to high school, and as a result, it just makes a good foundational setting for a story to take place, so it makes it a little easier to relate to all the characters. I'm just tired of having my hobby insulted every single place that I go, even though I brought it up in the first place when they were talking about ice hockey for some reason, and then they said, please be quiet, we're talking about something that's not relevant to your interests, and I said, no, I won't be quiet, and then they timed me out from their chat, and anyway. I've unlocked a Rasta hat. Did I not even run the casino that time? It just says, start a prediction. You did? Oh, maybe Ahmad already paid out. Okay. I did it, sorry. It's okay. It's okay. You ever see this study with the Skinner box with the rats? The thing that excites the rat's brain the most is when there's an inconsistent amount of stimulus to press the button in order to get a reward. If they know that every 4th button press, they get a treat, they're like, yawn. If sometimes they press it 3 times and they get a treat, they're like, yo! And if sometimes they press it 9 times, they're like, come on, dude, come on! And then the 10th one pops off and they're like, finally! Billy Corgan was right. This is just a horrendous first shot, man. This is even worse. Are you kidding me? I'm rolling. I'm sorry. With the new health system, I'm rolling here. We need animals that have 2 HP or more. Go ahead, kill me. Kill me. I'll be a squeaky geek. And there's no shot we're winning round 1. We'll probably also lose round 2, but we'll see. Anything could happen, like Fifth Harmony said. Probably pass on that one. Do the anime rant again? You guys have a serious problem. So can I tell you a moment of import for me as a child? I was maybe 11 years old. One of my favorite comedians, Canadian stand-up legend Ron James. Loved seeing him whenever he came on just for laughs. Thought he was the best stand-up comedian in the world. Hey, thank you. It's the Wessel Pigeon for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. He finally is coming to Kingston, my hometown. He's playing Yuck Yucks under the Marriott near Confederation Basin. It's the preeminent comedy venue in my hometown. All the greats have driven through there. Now, imagine my surprise when I sit down with my parents at the Yuck Yucks All Ages Ron James comedy show, and then he just proceeds to tell exactly the same jokes that he told in the Just for Laughs special. And all the adults around me go, ha 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 ha, like it's the funniest thing they've ever seen in their lives. I'm looking around like, did we really like spend all this money and put on our American Eagle polo shirts buttoned up to the top and put on, you know, pants with a button fly just to hear the same jokes we heard on TV? Turns out the answer to the question is yes. So when people hear something funny and then their immediate response is say it again, I'm always transported back to being 12 years old and just wondering what the hell is wrong with people. And to this day, I still don't know. Maybe. You prefer Michael McDonald, the singer, or Michael McDonald, the Just for Laughs comedian? I definitely prefer Michael McDonald, the singer. But listen, I got nothing against Michael McDonald, the Canadian comedy stalwart. You must hate Squeaks' streams then? Yeah, it's like the 7th time I've seen you type it. If I acknowledge that I've read it, will you stop being weird? I'm sorry. I read it. Just if you type a message that you think is like a 10 out of 10 and I don't respond, it's a tough pill to swallow, but I typed it once. Somebody typed it multiple times. Then they either stole it from you, in which case I apologize for your stray, or you stole it from them, in which case I don't apologize for the stray, because it's not a stray. I did audit them. They only typed it once, but I saw it more than once. And I don't have double vision. So you're either the progenitor of the joke, in which case more power to you, or you stole the joke yourself, in which case, or that's true, it could be convergent evolution. Two animals both choosing to evolve a tail at the same time, then arriving in the fossil record and saying one of us has to change. Like crabs and cacti. So true. I'm just thinking. You know what? We did better last week when we just took animals we knew were good. For example, the toad. Always good. What is happening? What's happening? We're winning. That's what's happening. Last stand-up you saw? I can't remember. You don't want to hear my takes on stand-up, though. Or maybe you do, because, like, they're all bad. Not all of them, but... I'm trying to think of the last stand-up special I really liked. I thought Ali Wong's last special was pretty good. I'm a big Birbiglia head, but I haven't seen the new one because it's on Broadway only. It's going to take like 20 years for it to come to Netflix eventually. I loved Inside, yeah, it's like everybody else. Listen, you're going to say this is a recycled bit, and that's fair, but they just keep coming out. So it's like, it's new recycling. But like, nothing makes me just like yawn my way out of a Netflix comedy special faster than like the preview being about COVID. Which is just like, I get it, but I think the window was really like, you had to be like one of the first two comedians that was like making jokes about lockdown in 2021 or 2022. Now every 60-minute special having like a 15-minute bit about COVID and the quarantine and stuff like that. I'm just like, it's actually worse than airplane food because you've just been down the road so many times. Nick Kroll is insufferable. Okay, actually, this is crazy. But that might actually be the last comedy special I saw that I was like, this is really good. I very much disagree with your assessment, which is fine. It's, you know, there's, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. He's the son of an investment banker. Okay. I think he's funny. So, what about it? My panda! What does his dad's job have to do with his comedy? Actually, his dad is a private spy? Okay. I've never seen any of his dad's work, honestly. I don't... I'm not like a critic. If Netflix put out a documentary about Nick Kroll's dad, I would be like, whoa, I'm learning a lot about Nick Kroll's dad. But until then, I don't fucking like care at all. It's none of my business, quite frankly. Yeah, there's some good Nepo babies. Here's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, Nepo babies. Oh, you're only famous because your mom or your dad's famous. Hey, probably that's true in like 90% of cases, but there's like 10% of Nepo babies that they would have made it even without the Nepo baby. For sure. Everybody hates Nepo babies, and yet they want to see Wyatt Russell in everything. Make it make sense. He's tall. Fuck you. Imagine defunding Nepo babies. Is this a typo? Imagine having the confidence to get in an argument online, but having the audacity to spell a word wrong in your opening statement. Being laughed off the stage in tears while everyone goes, he said defunding. You're like crying in the bathroom. And you're calling your mom. Mom, you were right. I never should have done this. I never should have done this. The guy whose dad is a private security contractor laughed at me and told me nobody wears suspenders anymore. It's the belt era. Mom, it's a belt era. I can't get past 4 wins today. Some might say it's a lack of focus. Nah. The Grink tweet? Was the Grink there? Great. One of the all-time great tweets for sure. You know about house hippos? Yep. Yeah, I was alive in, it was probably like 1999, I'd have to guess. I was there. Saw them all. Saw the Heritage Minutes. Saw Canada People's History as it aired. Those halcyon days. Ooh. It's tempting to just pill you, that's for sure. What happens if a fire ant hits level 2? Give its attack to 2 random friends. It's an interesting way to think about things. It is. This is weird. I'm not freezing the pill yet. Not yet. This team, lol? What, bro, is my best team all day. Can you relax? I'm going through it right now. No! NL, how does your movies per week metric change as you go deep into your 30s? I don't watch, like, I would say I watch... I mean, sometimes I'll have, like, a movie on while I'm setting YouTube thumbnails or something like that. That probably comes to, like, 1 a week. Apart from that, we're literally talking about, like... I think I saw 2 new movies in 2022. People will say insane shit to you, like, you should watch this one. It's a 7 out of 10. I only have time for 0s and 10s, is essentially where we're at. See the menu yet? You see what I mean when I say they say insane shit to you? Why would you put yet on that? It's been on video on demand for what, like 3 weeks? Everyone I know who doesn't have kids is like, I've seen it twice, it's amazing. Everyone I know who does have kids is like, what's the menu? I'm existing in some kind of superposition in the middle where I'm aware of all media but don't have time to consume as much as I used to. It's good, it's good, it's bad, it's bad. Actually, it's mid. I haven't seen it. I don't know. One day I will. Probably. Yeah, haven't you heard my streams before? I don't even read the menu. Definitely feeling like we're getting into like no shot territory. Like I'm pilling you, but why? And then I definitely don't feel like an emu has any shot here. So I have no idea what we're doing. Like an emu actually makes the team worse, like by a lot. So I'm just going to put you here to sell for 2 next turn. This is, it's not great. It's not even good. Somebody needs some HP. I can't believe I'm not on 1 life. What next turn? This next turn. Okay, you gotta... I have no health. Well, it's a great term economically speaking. That's undeniable. Did you ever watch Morbius? No, I didn't watch it. Are you crazy? You guys faint? Okay, sure. You said 0s and 10s? True, yes. I believe I did say that. I'm skeptical of this. So which of the Marvel movies you've seen in the last few years were 10s? My kid's only 2 years old. Like, this is... I think you just have, like, a lot more fun with life if you stop trying to poke holes in everything to, I don't know, distract yourself from the fact that you're gonna die someday. This is really what it's all about. I don't know if you've seen White Noise. It's mostly about how we distract ourselves with inane nonsense so that we don't have to think about the fact that we're gonna die. That plus James Murphy writing a banger for the credits. I gotta say, I'm skeptical about this one too. Can you believe we won a round though? We got to 4. That's kind of a classic for me. I can't believe I'm given a toad broccoli at this stage of my life. Level 3 fire ant, maybe? You watch the white noise and not the menu? Bitch, you're watching me instead of like Citizen Kane right now. You don't have a leg to stand on. People will be like, I haven't even gone grocery shopping this week. You're watching my ass getting tilted about my media choices. You unlocked boudoir cap. Get that off the screen. We don't deal with NSFW here. Okay, I mean I gotta break like the 4 curse. You know, I watched White Noise for the same reason you're watching my stream right now. Because it was a damn routine. I was shaving my face. I went to Netflix. Oh, new Adam Driver movie on Netflix. Click. It's frictionless. The menu, it's on like HBO Max or something like that. Which means step 1, I have to Google HBO Max The Menu Canada and figure out it's probably on some insane shit like Voodoo. Then I gotta figure out, oh, I don't have a login for that one. I've got to use my cable provider's middleware to pipe in the login that I use to pay my phone bill in order to get the app on my phone. It's gonna take 20 minutes. I gotta call tech support at TELUS HQ. Okay, we're scaling. Let me be a hairy gladiator. Must be hard getting subsidized healthcare. America, you just need to, like, take an L sometimes. I'm saying that from a place of respect. You just need to let other people, like, in other countries also have problems. Like, the other countries are talking. We're sick of the fact that it's always, we're number one, or like, we fucking suck, we're the worst. But there's never like an apology. It's always just like, we're the worst. And then like someone from France is like, we know. And then they're like, fuck you. Like just, we all gotta coexist here, okay? Like, you know what the most annoying part of me getting all these damn gut infections has been? Well, the diarrhea, first and foremost. I would say secondarily is that like anytime a Canadian has the audacity to get sick, somebody from Ohio is like, at least he's not American. And you're like, you can't even like be sick in peace anymore. You gotta like apologize for the fact that like your parents fucked in Canton. That's like, it's any of my responsibility what happened in, 2002 outside of the Guided by Voices concert, okay? Like, it's not my response. I wasn't there. My ass was in 8th grade. Just let me be sick and, like, annoyed with my own healthcare system. It's not like I'm saying, oh, every time I get sick, I'm not like, let's blow it up and convert to the American system. I'm just like, just let me have diarrhea and be like, I wish I didn't have diarrhea, or I wish there was just a store I could go into that's like, here's your diarrhea pill. It's not all about you. Not one of those. You work from home? Shut up. What are you even talking about? I don't even understand. I'm trying to meet you in the middle here. What are you... I didn't make your life, okay? Your life is not my responsibility. My ass is not in charge of the policy decisions. Hold on, we can win this. We can draw this. Complaining MFers when somebody else complains? I know, right? Listen, because there's 2 of you, we're taking you. But we're not putting you there, we're putting you here. But diarrhea shits feel the best? You need to talk to 2 doctors. You need to talk to a gastroenterologist and you need to talk to a psychiatrist yesterday. And maybe a proctologist, because your colon is not right. It is not. Smart play. Very small Sonya, I'll give you that one. Buy me? Ooh, that's early. Pill me. Sure. Not like thrilled with it or whatever. Why don't you buy me? And buy me. That's early. I don't know. I've acknowledged, like, it's just the internet. Like, one of the reasons I didn't tweet that I was, like, sick when I was sick is I'm just kind of like, I mean, I'm not trying to make a joke here. I'm just kind of, like, sick of the sick responses. It's like, I can't anymore just be like, I'm sick. The first comment is always like, he almost died, lol. The second comment is like, why do you get sick so much? I never leave my house and I never get sick. Maybe I just have a superior immune system. Hey, why do you get sick so much? You should immediately talk to an osteopath. That's not right. Hey, have you gotten a CT scan? It seems like you're immunocompromised. Whoa, hey, how many times have you been boosted? What's wrong with your immune system? Like, it's just so fucking annoying. Oh, at least you live, if I got sick in my country, it would cost me $1 billion to go see a doctor. And that's why, like, instead, I'm like, I'm not going to be live today. And you don't fucking get to know why. Because you got a comment, I would prefer if you keep it to yourself. Yeah, but is Casey Affleck really better than his brother? He's been in better movies. He's definitely been in better movies. We don't want to buff a blobfish. Hold on, I'm simmering for a minute here. No, it should be like that for now. You're going to get buffed. I don't like that. Don't get buffed by this either. Okay, I appreciate that at least. I don't know, I guess you take this. He hasn't been in a superhero movie yet? Yeah, isn't that why, like, we like him more? I'm just trying to keep up. Or now that Ant-Man's coming out, are we like pro superheroes again because Paul Rudd is like a hottie? The hottie one. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. He is certainly not the naughty. If I was hiring Paul Rudd, I would not hire him as the naughty. Jonathan Majors, though? For a second, I forgot that Jonathan Majors and Jonathan Banks are two different guys. So I was picturing Mike Ehrmantraut in Captain America, or not Captain America, in Ant-Man and Quantumania. Scott Lang. I always knew it would come to this, Scott Lang. That's more Crispin Glover again. I shrink my life. They should put Pikmin from Pikmin's model in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You faint. Who's getting buffed here? Please. Oh, you're going to buff the pill bug. That's beautiful. Why not? You see the Canucks clip where the play-by-play guy farted? Listen, nobody farted. I'm not trying to defend them. I know that nobody farted, because if John Shorthouse farted on air, he would admit that shit. He's a psycho. And they played it off so well. When there was the huge fart, and then he said, was that you? That's just a great broadcasting moment. And then, like, the illusion was shattered, because somebody, like, on r/hockey was like, actually, what happened is Like, goalie skates are much flatter than skaters' skates. So it was probably like a spot mic designed to pick up noise on the ice that then, because it was so quiet, it sounded like a fart and it got like amplified or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just hilarious either way. It's humorous regardless. It insists upon itself. We could try. We could try talking about a hippo here, I suppose. We are blessed. Like, there's lots of reasons the Canucks are not blessed. That's for sure. But we're definitely blessed when it comes to our broadcasting team. Otherwise, we're like pretty anus. But the broadcasters, they keep it going. You know you're going to need this. We might as well give it to you first. Who's getting buffed? The orangutan. Ooh. I don't mind. We could beat 4 wins this time. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but... You seen the new Netflix tennis show? I have not. Not seen the new Netflix tennis show. I got a question for you guys. You ever noticed how much conversation revolves around, have you seen this shit recently? I'm starting to notice this. That's not even a fair take, because a lot of conversation here also revolves around... I'm going crazy mode. This mosquito is useless. Get it out of here. And then put some honey on me. This is what we call praying. A lot of conversation, at least in this chat, is also like, step 1, it'll be like, what kind of peanut butter do you prefer? Crunchy or smooth? And then you say crunchy, and people are like, die. But then the second question is like, how do you feel about the fact that there were no thieves before there was property? And then we get in a long discussion about that. It's very unusual. We've got an unusual thing going on here. Almost moves to the beat of jazz. What if your ass got sold? 5 wins. I can't believe this is my life. Seen anything interesting at the supermarket lately? I saw some eggs, and here's the most interesting thing about them. They cost $100 million. And I said, are you kidding me, Galen Weston? I'm not paying $100 million for eggs. And that's the end of the story. End scene. One of those. I'm rolling. Egg prices, am I right? It's a joke about egg prices. This pillbug's gonna make it to the end? Well, here's my secret. If you lose on like 4 or 5 wins, any animal can make it to the end. It's something that the coastal elites don't want you to know. I feel like people talking about eggs are all lying, because everywhere I've gone has had like $4 eggs, which is normal here. Okay, we're going to do a simple experiment. This is for Big Punchman 100. I'd like you to look outside your window and tell me what the weather is right now. Sunny? Okay, I don't believe you. You know why? You're so fucking lucky. You are so motherfucking lucky that it's sunny today. Otherwise, your ass would have gone up in smoke, okay? If it weren't for the fact that this is one of the rare sunny days in Vancouver, you would be in a lot of heat right now. So you best just count your lucky stars. That's all I'm going to say. Just once, I would like to see a wrestler pivot to the UFC and try to do like whip them into the ropes on the side and then like duck under a clothesline or something like that and bounce off the other side of the cage and then try to hit somebody with like a stone cold stunner. Has anyone ever landed a stone cold stunner in the UFC? Not yet? Well, I think that means the time is ripe. We should combine you. So I'm going to combine you. I'm going to drop you right there. I'm going to try to pill you. I am. I mean, dude, it's kind of, forget the hippo, man. At this stage of the game, sell the hippo. Put a 2019 walrus out there. And all of a sudden, like, we got something. There's always something good going down at Mr. Sub. What do you think America's first Zoomer president will be like? I don't know, like, probably the same as all the other presidents. I'm sorry to say. I can't say that with any kind of authority, but it seems to be like how it goes a lot of the time. Holy cow, we're going off. Based but sad. You get pilled first. Ooh. I mean, you could buy a rooster, but I'm kind of looking for higher tier animals at this point. Like, I think a lionfish at 22, 24 does some work for you. I would definitely, like, I would pill you to add, like, a better version of you. It's going to have to wait, though. I guess I would love to see... I mean, if we could just get one more gorilla to show up, you'd get a nice stat bonus, possibly 2 coconuts. Tamarin. Tamarin does make perfect sense here. 2950 gorilla with the... Ooh, it does matter what your name is. You're freaking... Octopus screwed me, man. At least we got 8. It felt better. Okay, so maybe it's never too late to pivot to the lioness. Good to know. Okay, put me on 8s.